Please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem.
Welcome to the graduation of the Arlington High School class of 2020. Graduation is a show of togetherness in matching robes, a celebration of achievements and community. Today, we have been apart for 86 days. This is not what we expected. Graduation is meaningful. Today, we struggle to make sense. We feel grief, trauma, anxiety, anger, pride, and hope. We look for meaning. I offer some meaning to you today. Graduation can remind you what is important about high school, whether that was friends, activities, academics. Graduation reminds you that this community cares about you. It reminds you that you have handled uncertainty before. You made it through high school, and you will make it through this. Remember to be grateful. Savor these moments. Maintain social connections. Do good for others. Take deep breaths from time to time. You are the Spy Ponder class of 2020, the last class to graduate before we began construction. You are the class for whom everything stood still. Congratulations and go Ponders. We love you.
Good evening. On behalf of the Arlington Public School community, I want to congratulate each of you on your graduation today. This is a special day for you, and it is also a special day for those who have taught and supported you over these past 4 years and the years before high school in middle school and elementary school. It is a particularly proud day for your parents and families who love you. Your contributions to AHS and the community have been many, and we thank you. Not being able to experience many senior traditions has not been how we or you wanted to end your years at AHS. But we have been very impressed with your resiliency, creativity, and positive attitude in the face of disappointment, all of which are very important life lessons. One of the understandings we also hope will endure from your years here is that giving of yourself in service to others not only enriches your life, but the lives of everyone around you. Know and believe in your power to make a positive difference in the world. We're counting on you. Best wishes to all of you, and again, congratulations.
My name is Jane Morgan, and I'm the chair of the Arlington School Committee. On behalf of the committee, as well as the community that we represent, I am so delighted to congratulate all of the graduates of the class of 2020. What we have learned in the last 2 months about how we belong to each other, how we can do hard things, and what it means to sacrifice what we thought was non-negotiable will transcend this pandemic, your graduation, and even the Arlington High School building. Whether you've been at Arlington High for 2 years, or if this is your 13th year in APS, whether you call Arlington or Boston home, whether your fall plans are clear or not, please know how proud this town is of your resilience, flexibility, and optimism. Many congratulations to the class of 2020.
What are you following me for? 17-year-old Trayvon Martin asked. Please don't let me die. 16-year-old Kamani Gray begged. I don't have a gun. Stop shooting, shouted 18-year-old Michael Brown. And I can't breathe, pleaded 46-year-old George Floyd. Over the course of the last month, numerous Black lives have been taken. But over the course of 400 years, all African Americans have dealt with injustice of many kinds. From slavery to systemic racism, we still fight the battle for equality today. We all recognize the injustice going on around us in different forms. It's crucial that we use our voices and platforms, even if we feel we are not heard. When we all come together, our message speaks volumes. Stand up and act, because the movement needs allies. All lives can't matter until Black lives matter too. Together we can be strong and we can create change. But it takes everyone. We want you for the movement. So what will you do to contribute to this change?
Recently, about 2/3 of our class received letters we wrote to ourselves at the end of 8th grade. Reading it back, my letter was a 5-page, single-spaced plan for high school. I told myself to play volleyball, to join speech and debate, and maybe to even try hurdling, but then I reminded myself in the following sentence that I didn't like to run. 4 years later, I played 1 season of volleyball, I never had a chance to try debate, and I ran 3 seasons of cross-country and track. I veered pretty far from my plan. At the time, this plan was my security blanket, which I believed armed me against all of the unknowns of high school that I couldn't possibly prepare for. Having my steps planned out gave me a sense of control in a time of great change. But now, we are living through a period of ultimate uncertainty, and a secure plan is a luxury we've been robbed of. We don't know what summer or fall will look like. We don't know what new normal means. We are going through one of the biggest transitions of our lives while the world is rapidly changing around us. How do we possibly prepare? As President Eisenhower said, in preparing for battle, plans are useless, but planning is indispensable. So much of who we became once we entered Arlington High School, our 8th grade selves never could have foreseen. With the support of our community, we dared to step outside of our comfort zone, challenging ourselves and discovering new pieces of our identity. The goal of our education these past 4 years was not to give us a clear path forward free from obstacles, but rather to equip us with the skills we need to deal with the difficulty and uncertainty we are sure to face. Our growth happens when we have the confidence to deviate from our plans and the trust in our own strength to handle the challenges we will encounter. So, to answer the question, how do we prepare? Maybe the answer is we can't right now, but that's okay. Our plan is to be flexible and to look for new opportunities rather than complications. Achievement comes not from completing our checklist of goals, but from entering new situations with an open mind and a willingness to grow. 2 lessons that Arlington High School has been teaching us for 4 years. Thank you and congratulations, class of 2020.
Hi, I'm Ella Simbring, also known as Eliora, and I wrote this song for the Arlington High School class of 2020. I hope it inspires other seniors across the country as well. sing, we paint, we dance, we play until our hearts are happy and full. Laughter, companionship, we won a freaking state championship. I think that we got high school right. We're living through history. It'll get better. Wait and see. We are the change makers. We are the world shakers. We will do wonderful things. Isn't it funny? 2020 was supposed to be our year, but now we can tell from this living hell it only gets better from here. We're living through history. It'll get better. Wait and see. We are the change makers. We are the world shakers. We will do wonderful things. We're making our own history. It'll get better. Wait and see. We are the change makers. We are the world shakers. And now we're graduating. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Back to Patel Massini, stays over. Let's go! Patel Massini from David Gaitis. Beautiful. Takes the shot. Score! Dolan. Declan Dolan. Space on Carlin. Oh, he gets it. He scores! Wow! And carries it. Ella sends it to Sophie. Sophie on the ball. Carolyn's going through. Carolyn's driving. Carolyn shoots. And a goal!
Goes back to Grace Corsetti. She takes a shot and they score! Off the deflection in front. And Lauren Murphy, I believe, was the one who deflected it in to put the Spy Potters up 3-1.
Cherry pull-up jump shot is good.
Petriotis is one of the captains. He's only lost one match all season.
again, not allowing second. Diana, one-on-one. And Diana finishes, giving the Spy Partners a lead once again, pulling ahead by 2. Just off the rim. Nice recovery pass right there for their first basket.
See, I'm gon' be copping bands, copping bands, copping bands. If they didn't let us in, I'm finna hop the fence. Shawty said she loved my song, she showed it to her friends. When I'm in the club, it's bumping and they gotta dance. Oh, I feel like big time rush. I'm like some orange soda, cause I'm everybody's crush. He said he never listened to me, but I bet he does. Said he drive a foreign, but I seen him take the bus. Oh, got drip from head to toe. Said they didn't like my odds, but they ain't betting low. When your girl gave me that look, said I already the show.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you to all of you here to support the class of 2020. My name is Nicole Edson, and I am an English teacher here at the high school. I am honored and humbled to be this year's faculty speaker. Graduates, as your commencement unfolds in a truly unprecedented digital form, we are reminded of the stark and indelible ways that all of our lives have transformed over the past couple of months. In reflecting on this idea, I was also reminded of a quote from acclaimed author Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, who wrote, "I believe in the power of storytelling. I believe storytelling can take away dignity, and I believe storytelling can restore dignity." COVID-19 has in many ways rewritten the story of our lives, from how we work to the way we learn, and even the ways in which we show and express love for those around us. However, while these events have forcefully added new words and chapters to our stories, the true power of story does not lie in the mere presence of words on a page. It lies rather in the way we breathe life into those words, the way we tell our stories. As you get ready to embark on the wondrous journeys that lie ahead, life will throw countless words at you. Hardship, triumph, pain, joy, heartbreak, love. And while many of these words will embody events that are completely and utterly out of your control, the stories you tell yourself and the world about these things will be entirely your own. When I think about this, I think about my great-grandmother, who lived to be 104 years old. Born in 1906, she lived through 7 wars, a global pandemic, the Great Depression, the loss of her husband at an early age, and a battle with breast cancer. At 100 years old, she moved into a nursing home. As I helped her pack up her tiny studio, I asked her about the events of her life, about living a life marked by tragedy and struggle. She looked at me in disbelief. "Who told you that story?" she asked. Instead, she recounted a life defined by perseverance, by resilience, by independence, and by a deep love for her family. She believed that only you can control how you tell your story, and in doing so, how the world around you hears it. And in this regard, there is perhaps no greater dignity. When I think about you all, the class of 2020, I know that the story you tell of your graduation won't be one of missed opportunity and regret, but rather one of strength and perseverance. I wish you much health and happiness. I am so proud of all of you. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Tell me where is the road I can call my own.
Dear Class of 2020, there is no virtual substitute for high school gossip. It's been 86 days since we walked the halls of AHS together. Thinking about it now, almost 3 months out, coming to school was more than just coming to school. It was like entering a separate universe. Walking into the building was walking into a little world where I knew or at least recognized everyone I saw. Where I could relate to everybody I met because we'd suffered through the same assembly, we'd loved the same teacher, or we had a friend in common. I can't even count the conversations started at math tables where I found out where someone was applying to school or who their friend was dating or what unjustly long essay their English teacher was making them write. The coming-of-age movie cliche about high school is that people can't wait to leave and go somewhere they're anonymous. An unintended consequence of being around the same 300-odd people for 4, 7, or even 13 years now is that spending so many hours a day in the same little universe makes it so we know a lot about each other's lives. Maybe it can get gossipy and maybe we all know a little too much, but maybe it's also evidence that we care. Our time spent physically together may have come to an end on an unceremonious Thursday in March, but our community isn't gone. We won't stop caring about each other the second we graduate. Social distancing has given us a first look into what it's going to be like next year when our Class of 2020 community is distanced permanently. And these past few months, I found myself knowing a whole lot less about many of you. The tricky thing is that it's much harder and more vulnerable to actively reach out to someone than it is to strike up conversation when you see them in class. To reach out to someone for no reason is to admit that you care about them. But that's what we're going to have to do from now on if we don't want to lose track of each other, and I really hope we don't. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot to be said for fresh starts and for new people who don't ever need to know what you looked like at 13. We're going to find ourselves part of new communities with new people to care about very soon. If the one thing we learned from all this is how to reach out to those new people and admit we care from the get-go, maybe that's not a bad way to live. Congratulations, Class of 2020. I'm grateful for you all and so proud of you. Reach out anytime. I'll always want to know how you are.
Hi, everyone. I know our high school graduation this year is a very unconventional and completely out of the ordinary event, but in a way, I think it perfectly encapsulates what our Arlington High School experience has been. A little strange, but also life-changing. When we collectively walked through those towering white columns on our first day of high school in 2016, it was like we'd stepped into a new world. One where we were allowed to carry our backpacks around school and leave lunch when we wanted to. One where the colorful posters promoting this club and that sport contrasted sharply with the impossible to open gray lockers and the crumbling paint on walls. One where we were given real independence for what might have been the first time in our lives. And the best part of getting that independence was that we got it together. Each of us found our people and made every decision with them. From choosing which lunch to take when you had an old hall to picking elective classes with your friends. We were in it together through the really small problems and the incredibly difficult ones. Little things like wondering why the entire school smelled like old cheese or ridiculously strong cologne were our inside jokes. We always banded together through the challenging events like hateful graffiti on our school walls and the painful ones like falling down our crumbling stairways. When we went through these situations, we always came back stronger than ever. We decorated the outside of our school with chalk to reiterate how inclusive our community really was. When someone broke their leg on the staircase, another person always made sure to go everywhere with them to make sure that they were okay. Our teachers had meaningful discussions with us to help us become a better community. We laughed together and cried together. Whenever there was one person going through something, there were always 10 more people willing to hold them up. We learned what it meant to be a part of a community and created a support system that will last us far longer than our school building will. So maybe this isn't the ideal high school graduation, but growth doesn't come from ideal situations. And we will grow from this the same way we've grown from everything else we've gone through together. We'll be able to tell future generations that if we could go through a global pandemic and still graduate high school, then they can live their lives without complaining. When we come back for our reunions years from now, the building we made our memories in will be gone. No more peaceful media center, no more weirdly humid links, and no more stairways with food that mysteriously found its way to a ledge near the ceiling. We won't have science hallways with mice or windows broken by milk cartons. But the community we created and the memories we made will last our entire lifetimes and will be with us when we're each changing the world in our own ways. To close, I found a quote by an anonymous person that I think is exceptionally applicable today. High school is a lot like toilet paper. You only miss it when it's gone. Thank you, class of 2020. We're going to do incredible things.
Teshaniah Adelaide Asadeo, Camila Aguirre, Jacob Ryan Ahern, Naomi Perry Alperin, Eve Christine Alton, Marcus Lang Aluya, Madeline Ainsley Amidon, Jacob John Anderson, Jake Dylan Anderson, Dean Joseph Angelakis, Peter Michael Anjadi, Ina Armandia, Ben Austin, Ellis Fair Axon, Noah DuPont Jeanette Ballin, Matthew Bashara Bandar, Eli Shu Barlow, Callie Catherine Barry, Liam Stortz Bartolome, Heraldo Bassano, Daniel Patrick Beck, Lucy Madeline Bell, Luke Michael Baraducci, Galen William Thornton Bermudez, Jacob Elliott Betancourt, Eduardo Bianchi, Caio Biondi de Carvalho, Tyler Bishop, Sabrina Miliani Blasick, Francesco Bondesani, Ryan Corcoran Boyle, Kevin Christopher Brazil, Nathan Patrick Brennan, Michael Thomas Britt, Madeline Ann Brocious, Joel Vin Rouliette, Maximilian Gager Brunner, Megan Catherine Callahan, Anna Callahan, Tyler Joseph Callahan, Chiara Caligaris, Alexander Michael Cambria, Diara Simone Campbell, Rosalie Sarah Coyette, Margaret Ann Caradonna, Stefano Carabini, Megan Haley Carney, Christina Nayeli Castillo, Adriana Claire Kavicki, Jonathan Elsazar Kayer, Joni Sanga Cha, Sandali Chandarana, Zoe Scheimitz, Harvey Gar Chen, Matthew Chen, Philip Messiah Cherry, Anais Clinch, Darcy Elizabeth Coleman, Samuel Marks Colina, Emma Catherine Keneally, Madison Riley Keneally, Sean Christopher Connolly, Daniel William Coran, Elizabeth Ann Corbett, Margaret Barbara Crimmins, Helen Keenan Croto, Morgan Parker Curley, Christopher Antonius Decopoulos. Ryan John Darcy. Ryan John Davies. Carolyn Willis Days. Violet Gabesh. Benjamin Lyndon DeFries. Forrest Glenn DeLay. Lindsay Franny Delbanco. Antonia Maria Della Russo. Ryan David Del Medico. Rafaela Lilia Diamond. Thomas Edward DiCarlo. Declan Quinn Dolan. Alana Grace Dominguez. Anouk Annabella Donaldson Gall. Cassidy Hope Donovan. Nathaniel Jupiter Dorson.
Olivia Alice Doyle. Lillian McLean Dunn. John Carlos Dunn. James Martin Dunn. Kayla Egan Dunning. Aiden Alexander Elias. Natalie Helen Fayola. Lou Felkner. Christopher Joseph Ferrioli. Mitchell Showling Fessler. Caden Jude Fitzpatrick. Doralee Aisha Florent Hurtalu. Adam Heller Forbes. Dylan Benjamin Fournier. Alexander David Frank. Mario Alberto Frigo. Grace Celine Freschioni. Amber Jane Fry. Gregory Thomas Gentle. Mara Grace Rose Gagan. Ian Robert Gillis. Bridget Kelly Gillis. Charles Arthur Gillis. Lena Goodnow. Varun Gopal. Elena Gorikovsky. Griffin Kastner Gould. Claire Virginia Grant. Grant Gordon Griezmann. Henry Richard Grill. Quinn Warner Guiney. David Joseph Gaidas. Devin Ellison Hessler. Bridget Eva Hall. Theo Hall.
Molly Maureen Hankinson.
Michael Leo Haratunian. Abigail Danielle Harris. Catherine Milne Harris. Samuel Rabson Harris. Andrew Michael Harrison. Miles Costanzo Harrison. Fardeen Hassan. Kai Alexander Hazard. Ryan James Helians. Andrew Paul Hermans. Lillian Diana Hempel. Gabriel Rochelle Higgins. Annika Hill. Anna Isabel Hinkle. Evelyn Ho. Jacob Devlin Hodge. Jonathan Hoffinger. John
Patrick Hurricane. Catherine Beatrice Hubbard. Thomas Irvin. Elena Nicole Jacey. Elliot West Jackson Ontkush. Xavier Brown Jacob Dolan. Jackson James Jacobo Zudek. Cole Wesley Johnson. Ivy Johnson. Miranda Elise Johnston. Brendan Harry Jones. Jackson Lyle Kobolitz. Caitlin Seta Kalajian. Sarah Cam. Joanna Kandaris. Grace Fitzgerald Kane. Jonathan Angelo Capillion. Stephen James Capsalis. Yanni Emmanuel Kekriotis. Cameron Vincent Kiley. Rory James Kerr. Noah Ray Kaichin. Jacqueline Elizabeth Kim. Olivia Sungwon Kim. Aiden James Kineen. Heather Rennie Kirtley. Connor Klein. Benjamin Bloke Kohlberg. Lucia Dufresne Kolk. Alina Ovsana Kazuyan.
Anna Evelyn Kuklinski. Jane Frances Cooper. Isabella Marie Lancelotti. Samantha Lee Gladys Landau. Marin Shea Larkin. Eduardo Pierluigi Laley. Alan Harris Lee. Hannah Elizabeth Lee. Julia Lee Papastavros. Kyle David Lewis. Trevor Stefan Lewis. Samuel Abraham Lincoln. Owen Stanley Loeb. Leah Marie Lombardi. Elena Marie Longo. Benjamin Aram Lucian. Matthew Sarkis Lucian. David Louise Lopes. Avril Maggie Lynch. Rory Peter Lynch. Gavin Peter McDonald. Tom Spring Makauka. Matthew Philip Malone. Amelia Manstadt. Elliot Shippert Martin. Riley Catherine Martin. Patrick Joseph Massey. Will Benjamin Mason. Ian Robert McCaffrey. Marin Ruth McConkey. Justin Andrew McKenney. Jackson Metis McNamara. Colby Gajun May. Azariel Manuel Melendez. Anthony Russell Missouri. William Robert Mayer. Leah Yuen Michelle. Anya Hamill Miller. Julia Miller. Mia Rose Milstein. Joseph Maduno. Fatima Moyne. Manjot Moore. Sophie Morris. Johanna Mota. Clara Angelina Murphy. Lauren Jane Murphy. Natalie Ann Murphy. Aaron James Milot. Janelle Marie Milot. Emily Alexandra Narinsky. Lucia Navarro. Luis Antonio Nieves. Marie Elizabeth Nogard. Devin Sean Xavier O'Connell. Isabel Ann O'Hagan. Molly Rose O'Toole. Calvin Olson. Samuel Charles Overbeck. Catherine Lois Ozarek. Ariella Padilla. Arisabel Marie Padilla. Alyssa Marie Palillo. Zachary Charles Pappas. Zoe Amelia Pappas. Jennifer Yoon Park. Nirvan Daniel Patel Massini. Robert Joseph Pavone. Ricardo Penne. Michael Andrew Pescator. Matthew Charles Peterson. Zoe Ann Petrie. Brendan Joseph Piggott. Jessica Jane Piggott. Calvin Scherf Pike. Francesco Matteo Pisano Kamata. Lana Popovich. Kylie Jean Prunty. Kieran Abraham Piles. Braden Cole Quinlan. Henry Menke Raleigh. James Smokey Reddick.
Trace Byron Reeves. Davis Henry Ranella. Nicholas Alexander Cooper Resnick. Jack Rice. Joshua Alexander Rice. Hannah Irene Rizzo. Nayara Aguiar Rodriguez. Alvaro Rodriguez Alonso. Noe Benjamin Romero. Theodora Maeve Rosen. Daniel Brendan Roth. Maya Nicole Roth. Tucker Enright Rutenberg. Alexander John Russo. Soheil Sammy. Paulina Sandoval Alvarez. James Gaetano Santagati. Joseph Jeremiah Santagati. Lenny Santos. Sarah Elizabeth Santos Suazo. Jacob Joseph Schiller. Justin Michael Sensale. Timothy Joseph Shaw. Ghazi Faisal Shawa. Kolya Mateus Shields. Akrit Shrestha. Jessica Simkata. Noah Gabrielle Simon. Ella Carlisle Simring. Jazz Karen Singh. Sukhbir Singh. Audrey Jane Skian. Martha Masoke Smilovitz. Juliet Rose Smith. Perry Sophis Sheft. Sharu Soloff. Gloria A. Solove. Pranav Sri Ramulu. Maria Dimitra Stanitsis. Ford James Stark. John Christian Steinke. Tyler James Stewart. Zoe Marie Sullivan. Patrick Andrew Sweeney. Natalie Jean Swift. Gasif Udin Syed. Abby Tenbrook. Jordan Lawrence Terry. Jay Thomas. Adriana Thompson. Amanda Christina Thompson. Elizabeth Greer Thompson. Ethan Philip Thompson. Diego Cristobal Torres Sierra. Jonathan Joseph Toll. Stephen John Toll. Mark Francis Travasos. Ruby Paige Tervalik. Kyriakos Saikiris. Anastasios Tacitus. Eileen Angela Tucci. Lydia Rock Tully. Jessica Lynn Tuhig. Hanuman Bhuta Vakil. Dahlia May Vanderpyle. Janae Megan Valeri. Adrian Daniel Verrett. Ruvate Pruba Vinayak. Sarah Leonie Von Schack. Eleanor Rose Walsh. Timothy Matthew Walsh. Jackie Wang. Ziku Wang. Adele Therese Weaver. Kezia Ann Wild. Helen Milne Willoughby. Jessica Wu. Colin Henry Umel. Maya Ashley Young, Katerina Nicole Ypsilantis, Jonathan William Zach, Letizia Maria Zambotti, Crystal Zhu.
I now invite all graduates to move their tassels from the right to the left. It is my honor and privilege to present remotely to you Arlington High School's class of 2020.